Call the roll, please.
Ms. Miller,
Here.
Ms. Harris, Mr. St. Columbia,
Present.
Mr. Etherly,
Here.
Ms. Davis is en route. Dr. Miller, Mayor Franklin, we have a quorum.
Now, if we could go to item 6B on the agenda, we have Mr. Raymond Sims, present, along with others who may be presenting. And just so, we know, following that, Mr. Bruce Hudson is item 6D. So, Mr. Sims, you ready?
Yes.
Excuse me, Jay. I didn't know I had so much myself. We're going to, that's exactly what we're gonna do. This is one. Just gonna pass it out. Say something. Okay, we have it here. We're gonna present it. Yeah. Yeah, let's go fast. Sorry about that, everyone. We just want to see everybody for the budget. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Right, I'm Raymond Sims, CEO and General Manager of Delta Force 3 Radio Network. I'm also the promoter for the legendary Blues Festival. I'm here today a little bit earlier than normal because of the changes that I'm hoping to make for the 12th annual Legendary Blues Festival. My intent is to have a free festival in honor for KCLT 40th year of broadcasting. That is going to open up a lot of other options. That celebration will be because the radio station, one of the stations, KCLT, came under in 1984. That's 40 years ago. And as I speak, it was the longest existing urban station in Arkansas. Right now, it has a legendary status. This festival will be the same as far as talent is concerned. I plan to increase certain things, and I'm going to mention those to you. If you're unaware, there are many, should I say, food festivals in our area. Durmont has one that's been successful for 12 years or so. Everyone they have a clock sale. They have 2 festivals that's been free for a long time. Tunica, the city of, they have festivals that's free. And what I'm going to try to do this year is to bring in the same amount of talent, but at the same time be able to access more people to our city. The reason I'm here today is I'm going to ask the city to block maybe more areas than we have in the past. Generally, it's a 3 or 4 street deal on Cherry. But this time I think everyone may have this little copy here of what we have. My intentions are to block Cherry and Walnut. And I explain why. Then I want to come down all the way to Missouri. on Cherry and Walnut Streets, which would include York and what is the street, Ryder? Because of the free festival, one of the problems that I could have, and I'm going to ask the city of Helena-West to assist me on, is the security. Over the past 12 years, I have paid for security, which is generally the city of West Helena and or the Phillips County Sheriff's Office. So I've always put money into the community during the times I've done these festivals. So I'm speaking in reference to maybe the mayor, and of course the chief is not here. The availability, that's all I'm asking for, of officers during this day. I would expect to increase, maybe double or triple what we've had in the past. The advertising for the festival has not started because I want to get some kind of approval or some kind of idea of how the city feels about it before I begin to go any further. And I'm at a stage now where I feel like I need to know something for sure. I'm hoping that the Phillips County Sheriff's Department, and I have not spoken with Sheriff Byrd, and one of the reasons for that is I felt like this should be my starting point as far as having security, because it's in the city of Helena, West Helena. But I'm going to speak to the sheriff in reference to security that they have provided for me in the past. But this time I'm going to ask them to provide their service at a very cheaper, at a cheaper price, to put that. A lot of times it's in the neighborhood of $2,000. So when I have done festivals in this community, it's also money coming back into the community. So that department for the last 12 years, I've been able to pay some of the officers for being present, basically. Another thing I want to ask about, if possible, is the trash. And that's really not that much, but all I want to know is what the city can do. Okay, but generally the trash is somewhere, if I pay for it, somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000, maybe $500, $750, all depends on the service company that's doing it for you. Generally, we have 2,500, 3,000 people that walk the streets of Cherry from 12 o'clock to maybe 10 o'clock. This year, I'm expecting somewhere more in the neighborhood of 9,000. My advertisement will cover, I'm out in Memphis, and these are things that I've been doing in the past. Nothing new, it's just it's free, okay? They're advertising in Memphis, Greenwood, Mississippi, Little Rock, Arkansas, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Helena, KAKJ, Forest City, and WNEV in Clarksdale. There's also another station in Clarksdale that I generally advertise with, and it's actually 106.5. As expected, and I do expect this to happen, it's going to increase the revenue in Helena and West Helena for that particular weekend. If you have people coming in, one of the things that they have to do, and they will do, is they're going to hotels. It's going to do better. All of our gas stations and things like that, local grocery stores, local merchants. So it should help the economy for our city and county, to be honest with you. I think it'll go outside of Helena, West Helena, tremendously. Now, for some reason, anytime you give something free, you automatically going to attract more people. That's just the way it goes. It's not just this festival. So I'm expecting us to have more out of, and most of them are coming outside. I'm expecting more people that does not live here. People from Little Rock. A lot of people in Little Rock always attend the festival because they are from Helena. So I understand that concept. A lot of people used to live here. They're in Little Rock. When they hear the advertising on the radio, it's like, okay, I think I can go home for that. So if we can get that, which we will, you get that, you get Little Rock and you get Memphis, and Clarksdale is just a blue city. So they're going to come over just because of what they represent. Some of the ads that I'm going to do for this festival will be, we're going to have, I got country singers, or should I say bands, blues bands. I'm going to also include gospel and just the typical R&B. The health fair is something that we've been doing for the last 6 years. It is generally taken care of by the company mayor. What is the name of it? Yes, yeah, Lee County Cooperative Clinic. And you want people qualified for this. So they'll come in and put on the health fair. And I would just provide certain things for them, water, food, or whatever. So we still want to make that health fair one of the priorities. Another area would be a Greek show. This will kind of increase the number of people who may not have an interest. When you're doing a free festival, your concentration should not be on just one thing, like we have blues music. So we will increase it with having things like a Greek show, maybe dance. But as you deal with these line dances, I think is what they call it. So these are some of the things that we're adding. That the stage that we're using is just great for events like that. It's great for a line dance, and the stage is great for a Greek show. And the participation in the Greek show, I've already got several fraternities and sororities that have an interest. So the only problem they have with the Greek show is make sure it's not too long. I think that basically cover the areas that I want to cover. Oh, yeah. Last year, our festival, I know the city council had nothing to do with it, but last year, our festival was in the dark. I have no idea what happened on Cherry Street, but there was just no lighting. And when we found out about it, you always have people call the mayor, call the chief, but I don't see much that the mayor or the chief is going to do during that particular time. If you have no lighting, there's not too much correction you can have. So that's something I like for us to look at, to kind of make sure that the proper lighting, which is there, it just was not on. It just was not on. I think the next thing that I have would be questions. If you have any questions in reference to what we're planning to do, if I need to go more in detail as relates to things like security, which is critical, and the trash, we can. So I think at this time I can kind of open it up for any questions from members of the city council.
Anyone have any questions from Ms. St. Columbus?
The festivals that you put on in the past were wonderful. That's really good. I've really been there too. I appreciate that. You should be looking at festivities on. Security is going to be high interest.
That is correct.
And if you have just the presence of police officers, that deters a lot of.
That's correct.
By having the people down there. But I don't know, it'd be up to the management of the city to manage that. But your festival is excellent.
Thank you.
And I commend you for the job you've done in the past.
Thank you.
And the city also, downtown chair has sky cams, and we have sky cams available too. So that'll help with some of that as well. So the city is willing to do its part. If we have the availability, we're willing to do our part to help you with the festival. So you got us on the end with trash. Even if I have, I'll be willing to get there and help pick up trash.
I know you will.
It's welcoming people to our community, and we have to show some support of that. So
that's one of the things that I wanted to mention too. Anytime you have a free festival, I was hoping, but of course it's up to the city. I would have a little tent where city officials can be. And you talk about police officers, I'm hearing this thing like they're unavailable. We don't have enough officers. You can have somebody there with application. You never know. Apply for a job. There may be one or two individuals that will apply for a policeman's job through that application and qualify. You never know. But that's just an opportunity. People coming into your city, and once again, it's a free festival, but it's for adults. This is not for kids.
Right.
And because of the possibility of the alcohol, maybe one of the beer companies, may decide to come in and do a beer thing, or I may decide to get a picnic, what they call a picnic license, then that means people under a certain age will not be allowed. And because this is an adult event. That's the way I think of it in a way. So I have no problem with that. It's not really for kids.
Do you have any other sponsors besides yourself and are there any other sponsors of your festival?
Generally, your banks in the area, I would be a sponsor, Partners Bank, Southern Bank Corps, and they're general sponsor, Mid Delta. There are businesses in the community that are always, Delta Culture Center has always been a sponsor. So we have a few sponsors in this area. And one of the things that I have to do, it's not up to me to do that, is to probably get them to maybe increase their revenue or their sponsorship for the festival by being free. Therefore, we're going to be more things down with less finance.
Well, that's what I'm referring to, financial sponsors.
Yes, those ones that I mentioned to you have been sponsors of this festival, I would say at least 10 years out of it. The banks, the Delta Cultural Center, yeah, they have.
Well, I know it does a lot of good in promoting people coming into the community.
Yes, it does.
It increases the economy.
Most of the people that attend the festivals of the past are from out of town. This changes when you become free. It changes a little bit there because you have more interest when it's a free festival. People that are close to you have a tendency to come because it's close by. Okay, yeah, I can go downtown. You have a lot of that. I guess I go downtown. And that's why it's important to do more music. It's important, they have festivities that people they have an interest in. You want different cultures, you want gospel, you want country, and you want R&B and blues, and that's what we intend to do. Right now, I have on the contract someone on every category. Someone that's a gospel, somebody that's country, get them all on the contract now.
The more activities we have in our community, bring more and more people to our community. And
Yes.
certainly an asset.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Answer for whatever accommodations and assistance that we offer to Blues Fest. I mean, we will certainly consider offering your festival. I mean, if you're talking about bringing in potential revenue, potential tourists and
Yes.
tourism, I don't see why we couldn't at least consider. I don't know all the details, and what that would take, but I'm sure that we could at least look into that.
Most of the things that I would need, and I'm gonna get out of here, I know you guys have a time frame here. Most of the things I'm looking at, the security, the most important really is security. And even dealing with trash, but with security, what I plan to do is whatever is available from the city I accept. I would think that I'm going to end up maybe hiring security officers in a way. It's all about a free festival for this community. That's what it's all about. So once it's developed, then you're going to have a lot of people that want to be a part of or inclusive. But I'm thinking that having spoken to the chief, I have to get with the mayor or somebody to give me the right to do so. But I'm thinking that if I can just get a presence, and that's key. You got to have a police presence. I take that from experience. I can tell you that. And if you have that presence, then you don't have any problems. And I plan to have a presence if I'm forced to bring in another security company to help us. And trash. Those are the two things that I'm hoping the city can help me with. Those two things. Any other questions?
We need an approval from the body tonight.
Now, I'm thinking, Mr. Mayor, that, and excuse me, I didn't call you first, so I shouldn't have done that. I'm thinking, Mr. Mayor, that because this is my initial presentation, that you and the council made the time to address the trash thing, which I know is the city, that's what I'm looking for. And of course, the police department, which is your chief and his members. That's why I was just not necessarily asking for some kind of vote now. I mean, if you want to do that, I would appreciate that, but I know you probably have to look inside of the situation to see the possibilities of it.
I agree with Chief there and Mr. Collins. I'll let you know some, in a couple of days.
Okay,
We'll come up with it. But more likely, we want to work with you.
okay. I thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And congratulations on 40 years.
Other than that, go ahead. Just a minute. I'm good. Mr. Bruce Hudson, and I followed you. I read the agenda, but I know these kind of things are going to give it a call. So let's go ahead, and I think she should do things like that. Let's see about how that is done.
Hello, I'm Kim Liston. I am representing Biscuit Road Barbecue today. On Saturday, May the 11th, they are at their business, gonna have regular business hours selling barbecue only this Saturday. They will have live music in what they call the pit pen, which is simply their fenced-in outdoor area. We are asking the council for permission to close that section of Phillips Street there in front of the barbecue store and the King Biscuit Blues Festival office for a cornhole tournament. There is a fee to enter the cornhole tournament. That fee is turned around and presented back to the winner of the cornhole tournament as prize money. We figure registration will start around 11 o'clock. We would like to start prepping the site around 9 a.m. that morning. All of this should be over and done by at least 8 o'clock that night. All we would like is permission to close that one section of Phillips Street on Saturday.
I have one question. Will it be alcohol on the street?
No,
So,
No.
and it's confined within the,
yes, within his property.
I know that, we approve her request, and we all have a copy of.
Blues Day and barbecue. This Harris second promotion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
Mr. Etterly,
Yeah.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Davis, Ms. Harris, yes, Mr. St. Columbia, yes.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Bruce Hudson, is item 6B.
Page 11. Page 11.
Page 11 is a rebuttal letter sent by Central Arkansas Contract. The Hudson's packet is not in this one, I think it was in the previous packet.
Good evening, council. So I had an opportunity to read a letter from Central Arkansas Contractors. Took me for a loop. I left it to do as I had promised. The last time I came before city council, I explained my issue, what had happened. The following meeting, Mr. Jackson came in, gave his version of it. Along with his version, he offered pictures. And in his pictures, he shows a date starting from May 24th, leading up to June 6th. In his rebuttal letter to you guys, he's saying that he spent 4 hours on the property. So when did he posted 20 days and that being 4 hours? He didn't, he had, it was all, his own evidence. He had each picture dated. Spent more than, it took 3 months for them to clear the trees and complete the mess that they created. He also, I had to address this before I go into what I've done for the last year in regards to the issue. He also makes a statement here when he says that in the second appearance before council, and that's when we came, I made an appearance, he came, there's a second appearance, and then I spoke to him, he was here. He said the body, he said that in my second appearance before the body, that the city, that I didn't give the city permission It all started with me giving the city permission. I'm quite sure that he would never anything. The comment my mother made to me that morning, the driver Smith called at 8 o'clock, asking to go on to my property, pick up the trees down from my neighbor's backyard. This guy is more than, it's turning out to be more than what I thought it would be. My intent was to come to our last meeting, was presented us with insurance paper. Said he was in business for over 40 years. And yes, he's been a failure in business for 40 years. Then he says, he presents a pictures and everything, showing him at Mrs. Martin's front yard, surveying what was to be done. And then you see the trees in my backyard all cut down. Miss Martin's trees not cut down. Our property is separated by an engineered ditch. So there's no way you can say you influenced on my property by accident. There's a 4 feet wide, 5 feet deep ditch between our two properties. Lines of demarcation. He further goes on in his letter and he says, I didn't seem particularly concerned. Well, I guess that's why I came with counsel. I wasn't particularly concerned. I thought a great wrong was done to me. I know a great wrong was done to me. But it's even getting worse with this guy who I hear still works for the city. Stands before this council, says to council, I've been in business for 40 years and I'm insured. Gave each one of you a document showing the insurance company that he was insured from. Our city attorney says to me, Mr. Hudson, take it to his insurance company. I'm totally in agreement of it, totally in agreement of it. I know from being on city council that city must, as part of that tort reform qualification that they give cities, that your contractors have to be mutually binding. They have to be. You want to talk to them, but they're not just going to they and that was that city government, had a responsibility also. You don't just get a free ride. You have a responsibility. Make sure people who do work on behalf of the city are insured and bonded what's necessary. And then there are other things too that I. So this is almost, so I come back to report to council. What happened? Took me almost a year and a half. This guy was not able, I found out way more than I wanted to know about this guy. An ex-felony. Engaged in fraudulent, 3 to 5 years, fraudulent municipal government issues. Read his name, Greg Jackson. I mean, just put it up, you didn't Google it. And so he comes here and he says that I'm a liar, accuses me of being a liar about stuff. You all saw the pictures with the trees in the backyard. We all saw the pictures with the street in front of this man. I was out of town when it all happened. That was clear. And yet we still began to send this letter. Now, he even made a statement that the city wanted to do it. That's your business. He made that statement. Do you call that council? So now, I felt that I did not do diligence. Council asked me, city attorney says, go to his insurance company and resolve it. Try to resolve it. Come back to council, let you guys know what had happened. The guy was not only, was first and foremost, have council members received my package? Did you all receive the package that I came up to have disseminated among you guys? Have y'all not? Did y'all not read it?
And they got it in April. Yes, sir.
Oh, so do you all recall it from April? rather get the package that it took me a year to compose, rather into the, the scheme that he had played with his insurance agent, and how I had to get the Arkansas Department of Insurance to look into it. They gave a written result. You all did not read the package.
It was about mid-April. I gave it, I had it on the table in front of you. It's quite thick, so I just made copies and put it on the table so you could carry it home. It's called a recap of complaint and remedy sought. He had pictures and everything of your.
I have glanced at people who put the trees down, come out. Price it, and look, it was a full package. I don't even know I can talk to you all about it, without you all reading my information. Not reading what it took me a year to compose. I'm only a citizen in this community. I was done wrong. It's obvious. None of you all would want that to happen to you all. I went along with the city council and our city attorney when we said, let's do the insurance. I'm not angry. I did not write, talk back or anything. And I didn't do it. And what I found out was horrendous. And I'm also hearing you guys are still doing business with them. You had no insurance for over a year. Over a year. And if you engage with them now, this isn't. So remember, this insurance agent had paper floating going on. Remember when they first started insurance with cars, and you get an insurance agent to give you a car, and you really have insurance. That's what he did to us. And then the Senator papers here at City Council to each one of you all, saying that he was insured. The state of Arkansas investigated it for a year, killing this ancient scheme. The guy wasn't insured.
The rest of the council. No doubt that packet must have been placed on the table. I don't recall having looked at it. That I do have everything I've ever received from the city council at home. And I will go back and find the packet and review it. But I can't say honestly to you right now that I've looked at it.
Ms. Miller and the rest of the council, this is unusual for a citizen to be put through one ring with not only the damage to my property, the diminishment of the value of my property, but also the legwork that I put in on behalf of stating my case to you guys, and to know that you all are not even aware of what I'm talking about it's a sin and it's a heartbreaker for me to know that I did all of that. I understand that Andre Valley did not want to do the work. It took a lot of work. The letters I got back from lawyers and y'all didn't even hear this about how the city was out. They even said that over $100,000 the damages did to the trees and the loss of value on my property. And I paid to do it, as well as paid time and money. You guys are not even aware of it. As this guy says in his letter, has anybody read this letter?
This is the first thing.
This guy, the guy who was doing business for you all night, when I was out of town, I already presented you with a $95,000 bill that you knew nothing of. The same guy who is a fake, an expert, got out of the country, put in prison. He comes to this council and presents himself as being a popular man. And lies to you all, presents to you all papers that mean nothing. Thinking that. But you were going to look at it. And you think.
I say is I hate to interrupt you. I think for me, yes. He was here before. I have not, that's a problem you all encountered before my administration. The work he's done for us is he's done good quality work. And I think, what you're doing to me, I really feel so, yes, he is, but this is how you saw the papers like the ones that I'm sorry, it was not wrong. Saying, I mean, I so much about I just we're talking about another people. We have a lot of people who have some kind of issue that works for the city, or the street sanitation department. We're gonna come to city council and just broadcast it like that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna treat everybody right. Whatever the issue are, we'll try to resolve that. But let's don't do that here. That's why folks don't want to come to the city. They want to come. That's why they call it a clown show, because we're doing like we're not going to do that here. We have some behavior. Whatever he has going on, it's no effects on the city. Whatever issue you are, that's you are. We're not gonna bring that here. We gonna deal with that. We're not gonna do that here.
I'm gonna be there. Before you stop for a moment, so if you can apologize or correct what are you saying to me?
I'm saying, whatever issue you are, y'all can work it out. The city council,
Well, you all asked me to go, and y'all presented his package and his insurance. I actually get y'all read the package. If you read the package, you
have not seen it. The body hasn't addressed it. I've not seen it. My thing is, what we're doing is creating a show. We're creating a show. Whenever a person has going over to see, understand your frustration about your property, we can get a lot. We're not going to throw remarks about it. It's just testing. In the same position, I don't want us to be somebody like that. That's why the city's having a hard time with all the stuff we got going on. We let people come in and do this right here. And we got an issue with them, let's resolve it. I mean, we don't want to come work for the city. When people see what you just displayed tonight, then it's like, damn. I mean,
I'm listening, sir.
Just for the city's sake, watch what we're saying about somebody. Everybody, I mean, it's about property. And if the city can, whatever, if the neighbor have children, that's an issue that you are, because guess what? Before I came, the city, the person, the people, the entity that sent them to my yard. No, the administration was making that choice. You don't know these, but they for administration. But you are here as everybody's property. That's something you are, it's a deal that you all had before. I didn't know anything about that. I told you I received a call when I was in Chicago. I knew nothing about that. I only did it because James Valley called me and said, we want to get permission to go on your property to do such and such and such. That's the city, what is your title, sir? Chief of Staff. I'm on it because I believe in that city. I'm going to give them permission. I give them the right. Yes, sir. And I'm not going to even question it because I believe in that city. Somebody calls me. Yes. So y'all don't even know nothing about it. This administration, listen, not telling me like it's the same city council. His hands, yeah, it's still happening. We saw the issue going on at your house. Mr. Jackson, Patrick Carter, those people on your property. And I'm not seeing because when I saw those things there and working, it's going to be some trouble. And here we are, right back in this trouble that happened before. The chief says, this letter, you didn't do nothing for 4 hours. How long did you see him over there? I saw him at Chelsea. I have to worry, but I don't know. But I saw Patrick Carter with him. But no, it's what I'm saying. But if that responds back to you, he says he's ready to work for 4 hours. I read the letter. I just now received this letter while I was in council here. And so when I read it, I just couldn't believe the statements that were being made by him towards me. When he says that he was only there for 4 hours, we all know he was there for like 2 weeks or more. And then he goes on and says that, in my appearance, I said that I didn't give the city permission. Then I said I did give the city permission. I never even said that I didn't give the city permission. Then he goes on and goes further with it. Then he says that I didn't seem to be
upset about the situation because of, he says, particularly concerned in any aspect of the cleanup. He didn't do any cleanup. The Carter guy did that, where's St. Patrick? Patrick did the cleanup. He didn't even do it. So even in this letter that he presented to you all, it's full of lies. And it's not even telling the story the way we both agree that the story went down. And so now it is concerning to me to know that this person was sent to my home to do work on behalf of my neighbor, did the damage he did to me, and then has the audacity to lie again. He was not insured, the Arkansas, Mr. Attorney, are you able to read the package? I read it. Did you see the statement from the Arkansas, the guy? I'm not sure the problem is saying that they found no violations of the code, insurance violations. That was a letter that's from non-list insurance, and so there's insurance from not in effect at the time. Yes. It's 2 minutes. It didn't say for a year, but it said that's what I'm as I'm told you, seems that from this, let's see different part. Some rocks on contractors, but the other part of the U.S. for contractor without Patrick, which you keep talking about. I just don't know about Patrick. So the debate said that was a cleanup guy. I didn't even know about the Patrick thing. I thought that you were looking at the film. This conversation is like this guy's letter. So, Council, I don't know even where to go with it. I thought I was doing my due diligence as a citizen. I've been scolded by the mayor for bringing out truth.
No, I didn't scold you.
And so, I mean, and then this guy has said that, I keep bringing it up. I have not kept it. I brought it up one time when it first happened, as soon as I got back and saw what they were running. The second, y'all invited him. I came to hear what he had to say. And this is the third time. When he gave me the papers and said he was an honest in business for 40 years, truthful person. Read the papers. And Clerk, is there any questions or anything for me? I'm done. Madam Clerk, for the record, we place Mr. Jackson with 6 Arkansas contractors desires have not been noted and they placed in the minutes. We also placed Mr. Hudson not package to the jail in minutes. So that the record will be closed as to what both said about this. Possible. Are you guys? Yeah, I guess I don't even know where to go. I don't know what to say. I thank you for running down something. Does anybody have anything to say? I don't want you to hear the guys scares you. I can't really tell you. But I can understand it. I mean, I understand the truth is truth. I'm not only telling the truth. I told him no lies that he came and told lies. And now he's honoring her. It's just something that's just absolutely incorrect about it all. And I don't think my counsel, I don't think you guys can really ask me questions because you didn't need the information to have them to understand the rest of what is going on. But inside that note, you will see that this guy, I just can't believe it. He said it only took him 4 hours to cut down 60-foot trees. This is what he's presenting to you all now. The same honest in business for 40 years. I thank you, counsel. Ladies and gentlemen, the council on page 7, the county ran a contract for conflict. The country for city attorney's office, more particularly, There are approximately 4 individuals that I cannot prosecute. Two of them, pastors, pastor New Life Missionary Baptist Church. And they're charged with a crime and they cannot prosecute them as being their pastor. And the 2 others who I represent in the personal capacity. And the city council approved the conflict, verbal conflict, where the city council agreed between last year and this year, with the city council and the mayor could spend up to 52,000 paying Mr. Brand. And this year the city has spent 5,000 so far, in my understanding. We asked for disapproval of the contract for those 4 conflict cases for misdemeanor court and the appeal that may happen.
Is there a motion? To approve.
Seven. Just my policy, explain a little further. What happens is the cases are sitting on the docket, will never get prosecuted. If I have a conflict, you'll keep it and reschedule. And this will be dismissed if time is if someone had a point to prosecute.
So there's,
Historically, the city used to pay $1,000 net for conflict cases. We had Chuck Abbott and Amy Green, and it went up to $1,500 a month that we were paying. We were spending $18,000 a year previously on conflicts. This year, the city has spent approximately $5,000. Just FYI. These cases, yes. That's not for the year. No, that's for the group. Right, that's for the group.
John Shannon, you would only pay him $5,000 for 3 pages to represent.
Well, a couple of my bigger guys, and they're probably gonna kill him when he made the crime necessarily. And they're, I think we have 4 bigger guys. The other one, I can't remember what it is.
Wait a minute, the DD, so these are city employees?
So there are people that I can't prosecute, plus, I'm the pastor of 2 people, and I represent 2 people in my personal practice. I cannot prosecute them.
What he's saying. Throughout time, the city attorney has conflicts with different people who come in court. And if he doesn't get somebody else to prosecute the case, there will be a case. Those people who got the DWIs, if you don't get somebody to prosecute, they won't be prosecuted. I was trying to stay out of it because I saw what appeared to be blank faces and confusion. I want y'all to sort through it on your own, but if you don't have somebody to prosecute the case, those people won't be prosecuted. Anybody that you may have a conflict. It's right when you practice law. Sometimes, you know, you have former clients who come in or current clients who come in. And it's not his decision, the rules tell you who you can have conflicts with and who you cannot. So if the rule of professional conduct say he cannot be involved in this case, he can't do it. And so what he's saying is if you don't hire somebody to do it, then the people just won't be prosecuted. So really be deciding whether or not you want those people to do, you want that process to go forward before. Over the years, nobody really wants to come down here in court, and so it's gone from, we've always had somebody to handle conflict cases in district court, and then they handle it on up to circuit court if it goes, so they can take over the case. I mean, we've had, Baxter Sharp, who's the sheriff, we've had, Chuck Talbot, Amy Green. We've had, who are some of those other ladies that came, Jimmy, Anna Blaine, Lewis, Michael Lewis, Michael Lewis, it's just been a litany of attorneys who come in and handle this role, but if you don't do it, those people won't get prosecuted. I just speak on because I defend people in court, and the reason why I was silent is because if I don't do it, then they'll say I'm doing it, so it's people that I may represent. So that's why I'm trying to stay out of the conversation, but we decide whether or not you want court to function about it, so.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to enter into an agreement with, Attorney Bowman.
Ms. Miller needs to, agree with Attorney Beverly Blakey. Is there a second?
So.
Is it Aaron seconds the motion? Any discussion? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Ms. Davis. Yes. Mr. St. Columbia. Ms. Harris. Yes. Mr. Etherly.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
5 yes.
Thank you. Chief of Staff.
All right, so the previous meeting is the next agenda item,
Mr. Madam. Mr. Stoner is here. Mr. Stoner, do you have anything? I don't want you to have to. What, do you have anything?
I appreciate it. I'm just here answering your questions. I know there will be conversation regarding the issue with the hospital and the contract with the hospital. I don't have any statement to make. I'm here to answer your questions if there isn't. So if you want to get to that, I'm good with whatever.
Well, I'm going to acknowledge that you're here. I want you to kind of, I will come in a little bit long. I want to go ahead and give you, Mr. Chief, that we give Mr. Stoner to come on it, so he won't have to be here for a long
all
time.
right, well, we got minutes and then the hospital cell next. So, come on, Peter, come on.
Come on, Mr. Stoner.
Good evening.
I don't know if there was, so we did an initial walkthrough of the hospital, made an offer, and then there was an extensive review of the hospital where we had people inside and out, look through the hospital, and there's been some significant capital repairs that have to be made. It's almost to the tune within the next 12 months of $2.2 million. A majority of that is HVAC, that a portion of it was worked on, but a majority of it was not. But the vast majority of it is the roof, that only a very small section was worked on the past several years by Coram whenever they were running the hospital. So the offer from Progressive as of now is to pay the full $3 million that was offered, but 900 of it go towards capital improvements to be held in escrow, which would equal a $2.1 million to the city, and the remainder to go towards fixing those capital repairs that need to be done. So Progressive stance is they understand that stuff happens and they are willing to eat some of that expense, but they do want some help on this. And out of the immediate 2.2 million, they're willing to take on the 1.3 million. And there's also some additional repairs that are expected to be anywhere from 1 to 12 years. And they haven't even taken that really into an account with this request. They understand that those long-term improvements are going to be made, but these are short-term improvements that have to be made within the next 12 months. Correct.
Have you ever reached out to the Health Foundation for forum or people who are in charge of managing the bill and keeping it in proper conditions?
Yes, and as far, I can't tell you what those conversations were because I wasn't involved in that conversation with Coram, but they have been reached out to. But as far as anything
regarding the upkeep of the hospital, that was just part of what the due diligence clause was in the contract in the PSA. Is that offer was made. This is no different than somebody going through a house, looking at it, saying, I'm willing to offer $100,000 pending inspection. Well, the inspection came back bad. And so they understand that the repairs listed are significant and they're willing to take some of it, but they're gonna need some help on it as well. So that's the reason for the offer of the 3 million with 900 of it to be held into escrow for capital repairs.
Oh, Mr.
Did we understand the contract to be one that said to buy the property as is, where it is?
Pending due diligence, yes.
Due diligence is already been done, closing was December 31st, 2023.
No,
And this inspection didn't happen until April 2024, and that was in the report.
well, the full report came out in April, that's correct. Now, as far as the due diligence, we need to do our due diligence, and that was stated whenever we came with the contract.
Is there a particular clause in the contract that you make a reference to that would allow this reduction in the amount you pay to the city?
Yeah, I'll have to review the contract and I'll get back with you on that, absolutely.
I think the chief staff referred to paragraph 17 in the contract where it says if I accept the property.
It's permanent as is, whereas conditions subject to seller's obligation to maintain the same prior to closing set forth in paragraph 9. The city was selling it as is at $3 million. There's a due diligence. The initial contract was for 30 days and extended another 30 days. And I think more particular, Mr. Stone, the chief staff was asking about the approximately 200 pages that you gave me 2 weeks ago. It looks like that was initiated April the 5th when it was first.
That's correct. Me and you've actually had conversations regarding the environmental that took forever to come back. And once the environmental came back, that's when we could initiate the actual structural review of the building. And that's the reason it took a long time. That's the reason me and the attorney for the city have had multiple conversations regarding this.
From a print standpoint, we have to look that is today. It may have been emailed to them before that. They had opportunity to really install. Well, in the extensive report, but if you can tell, I read part most of it. And I bring a different perspective as a lawyer, to read. I don't know.
I completely understand that, but
They read that.
I- I am here to say that my client says that if the 3 million with the 900 to be held in reserve for capital improvement, they will be able to close within 30 days. But that's where we're at now.
Didn't they tell us they were closed by December 31st?
Yeah, pending the due diligence, but like I said, the conversation between me and the city attorney, the environmental took way longer than we expected. We had to go out of a company out of Hot Springs just to get the environmental done. There were some issues. If you read the entire report, there were some awesome issues with the diesel tanks on the property. And so it took them forever to get that done. We couldn't continue with this step of the due diligence until the environmental was back. And so that's the reason it was extended. And then once again, it was talked to the city attorney regarding that. So
What assurance does the council or administration or even the general public have that before we actually close this, so project will actually close this within 30 days?
well, it's my client saying they can after because the due diligence is done now. That's the reason we're not asking for more additional time to do the due diligence. We've had people look at it and that's where this report came from. I mean, we can't control the people that do these reports. All we can do is ask them to get them done. Has anybody's ever had any surveying done ever? Do you understand when you ask somebody to do something, you can't force them to do anything. All you can do is ask. If they don't do it, you can move on to the next. And that's what we had to do here. It's our job to make inquiries and to get that due diligence done. We can't force any outside company to do it in a timely fashion. That's the reason we had to move on because they weren't doing what we asked them to do. It's not, I do want to emphasize that this has not just been in the dark. There have been multiple conversations back and forth between my client and the city regarding these delays, regarding the due diligence and the inspections that were done.
All right, I got one more question, and I'll get out of the way. I asked you about forum or the Helena-West Foundation paying us money. You said there's some conversations and you're not privy to those conversations. But did those conversations result in any money going to your client, any promised money going to your client?
No, because Quorum does not own the property. They own the operational rights, which has already been acquired by Progressive. So as of right now, Progressive is operating the hospital. This is all having to do with capital expenditures, which are not a responsibility of the Helena Health Foundation or or Quorum,
Why would it not be the responsibility of the Helena Health Foundation?
because they don't own the property.
But they had total control of the property for the last 25 years, isn't that correct?
And that may be, but they don't own the property.
But the condition of the property, and one of the conditions of the lease for them to have it would be that they would keep it in operational order, wouldn't it be?
If you have that lease, I'd love to see it.
You did the due diligence. You didn't come across that?
Not the lease with Helena Health Foundation, because that would have to do with the operating end, and the operating end's already been closed on. So that's not part of my due diligence regarding the property, which is owned by the city.
But I think the council needs to see that lease. So that we can.
Do you have it?
As, were y'all done? I'm sorry.
So what?
I'm saying when y'all done.
No, I just said the council needs to see that lease. So we know who's responsible for the condition of the hospital being where they need $12 million for repair.
As it relates to January through May, since you all been, are you all paying, is Progressive paying rent to anybody?
Yes, all that stuff is, all that the operation end has been done, correct. The operation ends where the lease is through. So the lease being paid is through the operations end, which is what they acquired from Core.
So the Helena Hospital Association or Helena Hospital Foundation are receiving rents while you're actually.
Until the property closes, correct.
On the building they want to take care of. How they be doing this year?
Okay. Do you know what the rent is per month on that?
I don't, I have to look it up.
Last report, it was $250,000 a year.
Well, I suggest we put it on this next city council agenda so we discuss it.
Yeah, I suggest we get the council time to absorb the report and to ask any questions they may have in the meantime. And then they do whatever they believe they need to do.
Were y'all able to open the zip from the email?
I wasn't,
You wasn't?
no.
Okay, you weren't? Okay.
Well, the file, part of the reason this thing is late is the way it's contoured. We couldn't get the number and other stuff. So you see your page numbers are not on the report from the hospital, it skips. And so there's something in the file so that they wouldn't easily work with Adobe, but they have the whole thing in this council package. I believe.
Okay, that's what this.
Oh, okay.
And if the city council, needs additional time to digest this, I understand. If you come with any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me directly. My law office is 2 blocks down, and almost half people here have my email address. So if anybody needs to contact me, cell phone or email with any questions between now and the next meeting, I'm an open book.
I want to see if the body would like to meet, if we can schedule a meeting with the Helena Health Foundation and Quorum and Progressive Health. You all need to be able to meet, because this is how I feel about it. You know, for the past however long the hospital has been here, where have the city gotten from it? The rent went to Helena Health Foundation, all the proceeds went to the Helena Health Foundation, the city didn't get anything out of it, has never ever received that one dime. I don't think Ms. Robinson should be in the clerk of the city receiving money from Quorum or anything. So it's like the city just didn't get a job. The board understand the only people who got money is the Helena Health Foundation, right? They received $12 million. It's been put in a community trust. And the city, yeah, that's what.
Remember that council.
Yes, sir. I understand, Mr. I'm just talking, just saying that the city been getting duped all along. The Helena-West Foundation got $12 million in a community foundation. They receive money. That's how they give out grants and everything to this community. But the city, they got one dime. They receive nothing monthly, yearly. I mean, it is with taxes. They don't pay any taxes. But the Helena-West Foundation know $12 million. And they're gonna give you out some grants with it. So I'm trying to understand that. I'm not robbing somebody. Okay. And that's, we just ought to have a conversation with them to see where we go from here. Because, you know, $3 million was expected. Mr. Stone, you're right. Once you do your due diligence and you say, hey, well, this is what I found, this is it. You know, but I think we just need to have a conversation with it. You all and me, city attorney, we need to get everybody in the same room and have a conversation about these issues. So I think that, you know, Mr. Stone, you will ask form and we'll see Mr. City Attorney, can we get something together and meet with the Health Foundation and see what they, because I don't think the city should lose this kind of money that the Health Foundation can help pay for some of this. And even with Cornell, they ought to be able to pay that. They was in the building. I do know this, that they had a meeting to do some work on the hospital because somebody locally didn't want it. They didn't do it. So we need to make sure we all get in the same room because we need our $3 million. That's what we expect. I don't want to, I can't tell you all what to accept, but I need $3 million. I want to have it. The city deserves it. We waited since December 31st, and we got some outstanding bills. Madam Clerk, am I correct? And we need to more to pay. And we got a real review done. We want to have all these things together. So if we all can just get a meeting, that'd be fine. And Mr. Thorne, thank you so much.
Any other questions for me?
That's it. Thank you so much for coming.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good evening.
In your face.
In a related matter, you all received all the emails from Bill Mann. He just wanted an update as to when we're gonna pay on the jail issue, and I'll just report back again. I talked to him a couple of times today, and I'll report back to him. The current status remains unchanged. We haven't closed the deal at all. And second related matter relating to the sale of the hospital. You all had pledged $1 million toward digging of the well. On last Wednesday, the mayor and I and Ken Weiler, we met with the board at the Boys and Girls Club because we were trying to resolve any outstanding issues that may be happening. Progress is being made at the Boys and Girls Club. They're getting the property appraised. The city has to have ownership of a 30 by 30 tract of land for the actual well itself. And I'm preparing the easement deeds and the deed relating to the 30 by 30 tract. But they want to have it appraised. They said there's no way we want to stop the project going forward. Let's go forward and keep going. But that's the update that I have as it relates to progress. We're going to see what they're doing. And you've already had an estimate that this is going to take 6 to 8 weeks from beginning. And the beginning has already occurred. So there's some expenditures that the city's going to have very soon relating to large payments relating to the construction of the well. Chief of Staff.
Well, in that vein, Mr. City Attorney, members of the City Council, dated May the 3rd of 2024, not included in your packet. So, I don't think we've gotten it sooner than today. There's a bill for $290,479.08, including the well contractor at $226,860. And then the engineering firm at $63,619.08. So they're asking us to pay that. But what I want you to also understand is the way the contract was set up, it was in 25% draws. And the second draw is likely to be within the next week and a half, 2 weeks. So you're looking at probably doubling this amount pretty quickly. one of the things I suggest to the council is that you authorize, that there's a loan out there, $11 million loan that we have been tentatively approved for, I don't know how soon will be funded. So at this point, because the hospital sales not materialized, you may need to authorize the people who handle the CDs to cash some CDs, but this is water company and it is water company CD to pay this so that the progress continues. Unless the treasurer or the clerk has some other idea on what we should do in the meantime. And then after we deal with this, we got other bills we want you to approve, but some of those will come out of the $100,000 loan that's been approved by Arkansas Natural Resources Council. We just got to submit it to them. We got to submit it to you for approval and then submit it to them for payment for the repair work that was done.
Mr. Treasurer, could you give us some direction on what we need to do?
Yes. CDs that were designed to do it, to pay for that type of infrastructure work. You have CDs that were designed for that purpose. But I've always said, I think Mr. Esley kind of agree, you know, we got to put these small fires out. If we have to use it, we have to use it. But you have about, thing off the top of my head, you got about $1 million of CDs.
One of the issues that Mr. Wallen made clear to me in the mayor last Wednesday, is when the project gets going, when the time to pay comes, so we need to pay. Because the issue is if he pulls the road and goes somewhere else, it may be 30 days, it may be 60 days, maybe 90 days, because it's really high demand. So what we're having here, we have to be prepared to go ahead and work through completion. And he's wanted us to impress on the city council to keep that in mind as you go forward. That once we committed him here, we need to go ahead and commit to the end. Because his engineering fees, the fees for doing the wall well and the test wells and all that, what they're saying is, if they're not being paid, then the rig is such high demand, they can pick up and go. And the other thing he wants to remind you of, that he told us that they had to make arrangements and assurances for him to be here, and they set aside this really particular for this project, and they were holding for this project. And so there's an opportunity cost for them. And then if they're not being paid seasonally, what they would do is just pick up and leave and go and come back when we just pay them again with assurances that we can pay them. And so all financial decisions, the engineer wanted to press upon the urgency of making sure that these people doing this job paid, and the fragility of our water system and the need for this to be done for the protection of the citizens. So I've emphasized that in lieu of him being here.
I'm typically not in favor of us using the CDs, but in this instance, I don't think there's any question about what we need.
I'd like to ask, is there any way that we can look a little bit more closely on where we're spending our money in terms of possibly a reduction in force? I mean, I think that there might be, I'm not sure, but there might be some positions that if we have to finance a well or pay unnecessary salaries, maybe we could trim a little fat.
That is always within the council's purview. The you all are trying to finance. If you only do a reduction in force, that's clearly within your authority.
And it's not something that. Okay, I would like to go back to, I've asked and I've received several job descriptions. I don't think that they're conclusive of everybody that's working downtown. in the city. But to me, there seems to be several positions that on just face value, I didn't quite understand why, what the purpose was. I could be wrong. But I would like for us, because we are in crisis, we're putting out a fire. We're faced with possibly an extensive delay with the hospital selling. That we may need to look at that as a council.
I think it may be wise for you all to have a budget workshop to see exactly where you are. What you're spending and if you're trying to arrest the fall per se, that you look at it diligently to determine where the fat is, if there's any fat. It may be that you don't have any fat, I don't know. I would defer to the mayor, the city clerk, the city treasurer, and chief of staff on that. When you have, where fat is and whether you have any.
From my standpoint, I mean, really ain't no fact to cut. What we have is breakdowns of equipment. The water, if you look at the water department itself, with all the leaks they have, I've put on the table many of times how much money we have spent with fixing these leaks. We spent almost close to, I know, $5.5 million repairing leaks in these crises. And our employees, we don't pay them, water employees, we don't pay them enough, none of our employees really, but we're doing the best we can what we got. But it's up to you all. You all are faced with making that decision. Whatever you all decide to do, I'm stand with you, but I'm staying. City Hall is open. The books are open. Whatever you want to come look at and see what you all can help us do, I welcome you to that. Like right now, even with the water, the sanitation fees, look at where they're going. And how we spending those. The water department is fighting. It's been fighting for years. Now that you have the information that we didn't have a couple of years ago, we didn't have the information from the water department that we're getting now. So we was in the dark. Now you are getting more information that you have ever received from the water department. You see the reports that they give. You see everything, and you see the water department is trying to do the best they can, but sometimes it's just that whatever you all want to do at this point, employees wise or whatever.
I really think we need to, Mayor, if it's okay. I would like for us to have a very earnest city council budget meeting and look at some of these positions.
Again, if that's what you all would like to do, that's fine with me. But when you see that we can't cut,
I mean, that's fine if we can.
because
but
the thing we've been constantly saying, trying to get a rate study done. We have to increase our fees. Those things have to happen. You look at right now, how many trucks you got down. Just look around us. What's going on? With the city. When I got in the office, all the equipment was down. We had trucks on the yard that we had to make repairs to try to make sure the trash can get picked up. We got an overhead front end loader right now that's in the shop that we paid some money on it and still paying a note. So it's several things that you all can look at. But I'm telling you like this, whatever you all want to do, you all in control of real property and finances. I welcome you all to do that.
When can we set up a meeting for discussion?
Make sure that, especially whenever if y'all sit tomorrow, we're gonna meet. Whatever y'all want to do, it's something that you all, if you all want to do it, I welcome with open arms.
Am I alone in this? I mean, am I the only person that thinks we need to do this?
Well, we want to do a budget workshop. It's gonna take more than, we're still working on bank reconciliation, so it's gonna take a few days to get to a financial statement. So you can see where we are at. Unless you want to use the March statement.
I mean, I'm just thinking because we're looking at imminent bills. So is there, can we not set a tentative date?
I think it first depends on when they can get the financial information about it.
Like I said, you have a March statement, if you wanna go by that one to see where we are during the first quarter. But it's gonna take a couple more days to get the April statement, because we're working on bank reconciliation. So I need those to do sure, and accurate financial statement.
I guess the question to cut across Peter. You said it could take a couple more days. When do you anticipate that you could possibly have it to the council so that they could meet with the April statements?
I initially wasn't planning on getting the April statement until the second meeting in May, but if we need to, I just have to do what we have to do. Cause I'm currently still getting some information to, I guess that's Rural Water about the rate study.
Yes, sir.
So we needed some additional information to get them, so I was working on that.
It's several things that if you all want to do, we can do those. I know, I look at, I was talking to the clerk the other day about health insurance and all this other stuff, employees. Whatever you all feel like you all need to do, then let's do it.
Can we set a meeting for the 14th of May? Would you all be willing to do that?
There's a city,
I won't be able to be there. We got
a city and school kind of town hall meeting being set that night.
Okay, the 16th of May.
That's fine with me.
You said the 16th?
The 16th.
Huh. You know,
I'm sorry, what's that? May 16th. That's fine.
I'm not available May 16th.
Mr. Bailey, when you finish this discussion and talking about the CDs, I need something clarified from the city attorney about the Boys and Girls Club, please.
What about the 23rd,
We have a meeting that week.
22nd,
We have a meeting that week anyway.
27th?
27th is Memorial Day.
28th?
28th is fine for me. I mean, next week is pretty much clear. I guess that's not much.
28th?
I can't do the 22nd.
But don't we have a regular meeting on the 22nd, something like that?
The 22nd is Wednesday, so we meet on the 21st.
21st is our meeting,
What day are we saying?
the 28th.
But 28th may be best. Here's my practical thing. I don't like to meet just to meet. And the treasurer was saying that he typically don't get it to the second meeting. And you all want to digest the information, not just have it and just have this discussion. You're gonna get another group of information for the 21st. So I think practically, might I suggest the 28th, so that you all can be prepared for both meetings and have all the information, and then you can have a full discussion, robust discussion about what you have with an opportunity to review it. And if the attorney can get it to you all by the 21st, then we'd have a week to look at it before the 28th meeting. And he wouldn't have to rush to get anything done. It'd be already his regular meeting, you get it. And then the following week, you all have it, and you all can have a full discussion simply about finance. I don't know, are all y'all available on the 28th
I am.
now?
That's fine. So far. Last week's school.
I think this side is available. What's going to come with you available on 20? So everyone available that's present, except for Ms. Harris. Larry, you're available
Whenever.
28.
I'm available whenever they need me, tomorrow night at 8, tonight at 10, whatever, I'm ready.
So 28th is a good day for everyone.
Dr. Miller makes.
So second, let's make sure we have 5 people.
6 o'clock, 28th.
6 o'clock
Right.
and 5. You get it?
I think we need a motion, on the CD.
Yes.
Today. Well, she out.
I mean, what I was gonna suggest is do the motion and do it and then try to hold out as long as we can before we actually pass them in. Because I mean,
I don't.
That's fine.
We just said try to hold it out until when?
As long as you can.
Said you might not have to.
before, yeah, just in case we get, just what I was suggesting, yeah, but you can go with us approval to do it.
But one thing I have not wanted to hold out on is water.
Okay.
I mean, but it won't be good if one of those wells quit or we have some other.
So do we need to make?
Bigger than that.
Right.
So what the total is, what's the total?
Staff, you doubled the amount just based on the bill that you have. Will be double the amount that the council needs to approve. When I say double the amount, you said it was a 25%. And you're looking at paying 50% before.
290, you say roughly 300, so you're talking about 600, you're doubling. But what you're doubling it for, if you know it's gonna cost you 1.4 million. I mean, you need to authorize the expenditure of 1.4 million, if you're gonna do the well. But some folks ain't gonna come and say, look, well, we're gonna wait till y'all have your next city council meeting to finish the well. They're not gonna do that.
I understand, but you asked for this, earlier you asked for the expenditure for, if you're gonna approve, you might as well approve too. That's what you said earlier. And that was,
I said the second one is coming due.
right.
Second payment is coming due. You need to authorize the expenditure to do the way. The way.
We don't
Well,
have.
let's do the thing. One is the status report.
We don't have.
The second one is coming due. The request is for authority to pay for the waiver. So that costs $2, it costs $2 million, whatever the well's gonna cost. You need to give folks authority to pay.
So that hasn't been done.
The fund they can get it.
I thought you guys had already.
They have not raised cash CD.
No.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They approved the overall expenditure of 1.4 million. But practically, that they're saying is to authorize to go ahead and catch CDs. Because last time we had this with the Smith administration, people were upset that nobody was told them they were cashing the CDs, et cetera. And so this is duplication, but for a particular purpose, because you're trying to catch the CDs.
And we can do it at whatever pace the council wants to go. We're gonna be back here in 2 weeks at least. If not soon. At least that's my prayer that we need it in 2 weeks, because they're making the progress that they need to make. Mr. Wilder sent him a report, and basically, he doesn't want to share the Facebook world, because we got all those Facebook engineers and Facebook web diggers, but they're making good progress, the health department and stuff is lining up. The stars are lining up for this to keep moving as it is moving, and at the pace that it's moving at. And at the end of his email, he told me he submitted an invoice to Ms. Ramsey that they expect a payment on, and this is what I just shared with you.
So, I move that we approve the cashing in of CDs to the extent that is necessary to keep the well work for the new water well moving in a timely fashion. And let those CDs only be used for the well,
The way.
only be used for that project.
Mr. Anthony make a motion to cash in those CDs to only be used for the purpose of the well, only the well. Mrs. Davis second the motion. Any discussion? To the tool.
It said to the extent necessary to keep the work
Okay,
on track.
to, Madam Clerk, you have that? Any discussion? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
You have to make the motion again.
You wanna make it?
Make it again.
As long. I move to approve the cashing in of CDs to the extent necessary to keep the well work on track as scheduled by the engineering contractor. Yes, and that those CDs being cashed in only be for construction of the wells. Nothing else.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Davis, Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia. I have 4 yes, 1 abstention, 1 absent.
All right. I believe the next agenda item is the approval of the minutes of the 3 meetings we've had before this one.
So let me throw in a question before we leave the city issue. Is the loan or any of the money that we get from natural resources, is that all reimbursable for these expenses?
That's my understanding that we got.
Can we take, when that comes in, and replace the CDs that we got?
I think that's what we should do, yes, sir.
So do we make a motion for that?
Okay,
Ms. Miller asked a good question. I don't know if y'all heard it. Should we make a motion to do that?
The council so moves, yes.
Yeah.
So does ours.
I think that's
Bill
a motion.
moves to, that when we receive the money from natural resources to reimburse the city to pay these CDs back off. Ms. David, second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. St. Columbia, Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Ms. Davis, Ms. Harris,
Yes.
5 yes.
Anything that when I went to Little Rock to talk to natural resources about this money, anything that we have spent in the past months on water is reimbursable to the city. So whatever we have spent, we can get that money back for us with these plumbers or anything else. They just want you to submit all documents back to them. So anything we're spending now is because it is a loan. So whatever we have to spend on the water department, leaks or whatever, they want documentation and submit it to them and they'll send the money back. So that's one of those things I've been working on.
Now, prior to the vote, the clerk asked me about the 30 by 30 piece of land. 30 by 30 piece of land is approximately 900 square foot, this at the Boys and Girls Club. They are wanting the city to purchase that. And that was a question she had, will we have to purchase it? And that's the answer that yes.
The health department is gonna require the city to own it.
Right, I was getting to that.
In fee simple. That means we own it outright.
Right, for the city to be able to have the well there, the city has to be the owner of it. It has to be the owner of the land that the well is on. It has to have access to the well. And so that's the reason why we have to purchase it.
So we had, the Boys and Girls Club informed me that they were going to get an appraisal on it, so they haven't received it yet, but once they get their appraisal, we'll go from there. And the same thing with the well, we're buying this, if we're getting this land, you can use some of this money from natural resources to do the same thing. If we buy it, just do it the same way. So we can get reimbursed back for it, is because of water.
Okay. Well, I meant to go to the minutes, but there's a thing, your council member, Dr. Kyle Miller asked you all, he asked me to ask you all to approve. He was in Little Rock today and I thought he would be back, but I got a Lewis Jordan Jazz on the River. Delta Cultural Center celebrates Delta Jazz legend Lewis Jordan with this inaugural Jazz on the River concert May the 10th from 7 p.m. To 10 p.m., including the after party at the Delta Distillery. And there's a Brie Aline, Jose Holloway, Rodney Block, who will be performing. This will be at the Cherry Street Pavilion, 116 Cherry Street in Helena, Arkansas. The event is free, and there will be food and beverage vendors, so bring your chairs or blankets. for the concert along the levee, and it's sponsored by the Arkansas Department of Heritage, as well as the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism. And so I don't know exactly what he needs you all to approve. Let me see if I see it in my text message.
I will agree. Where necessary. To support this project.
Mr. St. Clair moved to approve the Louis Jordan Jazz on the River, May 10th from 7 to 10 p.m. Mrs. Davis seconds the motion. Any discussion? This will be a Cherry Street Pavilion of 116 Cherry Street in Helena, Arkansas. It's free.
And it may require blocking streets or some other stuff, but they got vendors, so we don't have a full application, but I would imagine he'll get that to us and get with the department heads as soon as they can, because that's, today it's the 7th, so this is in a few days.
Yes, sir. And Friday, any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. St. Columbia,
Yes.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Davis, Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
5 yes.
All right, on the minutes of the previous meeting, do y'all want to do those there? I think they start on page 14.
Is there a motion to approve the minute from
So moved.
April 2nd? I'm sorry.
Gonna do all of them at once.
We'll do April, it was April 2nd, April 9th. That's it. Those are April 16th. So it's a motion to approve all the minutes in one. Ms. David, Ms. Mills made the motion, David seconded the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia,
Yes.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
5 yes.
All right, we had a council meeting by Zoom where the council was presented with a plan for the mayor to rent a grapple truck. And I believe that meeting happened on April 25th. And we presented the idea to rent this grapple truck at $8,900 a month. And we were able to get the shipping fees waived. Initially, we were gonna go to Indianapolis, Indiana to pick it up, but they switched trucks and we were able to go to Memphis, Tennessee to pick it up, so we didn't have any shipping costs. But we need the council to ratify the fact that we're renting that truck. It's on the ground. We couldn't take a vote by Zoom because it's not an emergency. And so we'd have to have the council to vote in the open meeting on approving that action, but while I'm talking about that, if you go in your packet to beginning, maybe page 3. Page 3 starts an email on our grapple truck. And Mr. Allen is here, it's truck number 106. If you're looking on page 4, on the Lone Star Truck Group, Tag Truck Center, out of Memphis, this is an estimate. It tells you customer unit 106, and that's how we identify our truck. It's a 2015 Freightliner truck with 99,000 miles on it. So it's been in service since July of 2014. But there's an estimate for the work that needs to be done on it. Total parts $10,782.51. Labor $6,050. Mile miscellaneous $85. Total $16,917.51. And that's total is repeated on page 6 of that, including some type of shop supply. No, they added shop supply of $250 to raise the total to $17,167.51. I'm going back and forth on page 3, they're asking for 1/2 of that, or 8,500 down before they begin to work on that particular truck. So that's one of our grapple trucks. The other grapple truck is working. So we're operating 2, the one we're renting and truck number 104. 104 is kind of dragging its way through town. It's equally old as 106, equally poor condition as 106. So, 2 things. One is to approve the rental that we're doing. And then 2, we want you all to consider this $17,000 invoice or estimate to repair your truck. It is in Memphis in the shop. It's gonna sit there until you tell us to go get it and bring it back and don't repair it, or tell us to repair it. That's where we are. It was told to Memphis because the DEF system, diesel exhaust fuel or whatever it's called, stopped working appropriately. And as you see, the turbo had gone out in it. So the truck wouldn't move over 5 miles per hour. Is that right, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the rental fee?
The the BTR, big truck room, but we want them to approve.
We need to cover.
Yeah.
I make a motion.
We'll be to ratify the expenditures.
Ratify.
Ms. Stankham moves to ratify the big truck rentals. Is there a second? Ms. Davis seconds the motion. Any discussion? Discussion that I have is this. Let's just get, I'll tell you about the good news about it. Madam Clerk, you call the roll.
Ms. Miller,
Yeah.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia, Ms. Davis,
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay. The news I have to tell you all is this. I have built a working relationship with Forest City, Arkansas. The city of Forest City. They have let us use their commercial front-end loader every Friday, Saturday, and take it back Sunday evening once we're through. So we're not paying a dime. Mayor Larry Bryan and I have worked together to make sure that it could take some of the pain off the city. Only thing they ask us to do is bring that truck back clean like we got it. And that's how thanks to Mr. Allen and Mr. Collins, that's how we're able to get our guys to get this commercial garbage up on the weekend. Even though we got this grapple truck, the grapple truck is to get some of the stuff, the debris off the ground. But the front end loader is helping us get caught up tremendously on commercial trash. So I want to just let everybody know, Larry Brown of Forest City, the mayor of Forest City, is working with this community in this crisis, because this is what it is. We don't have the running equipment until we get our stuff back. That's what building relationship is. And it is about trying to make sure people see our needs and not trying to say, oh, we can't tell people, oh, we just feel sorry for us, but reach out to Haley. If you got this extra, can you help the city? For no charge. We're not getting charged a dime. And we use it Friday, we pick it up Friday morning, right, Mr. Allen?
Get it like Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon.
Everybody, Monday morning, about 6 a.m.
So, so if you
And
got,
the landfill is opening on the
Yeah.
weekend to dump that truck.
and the landfill is working with us to make sure, I mean, it's about building relationships in this community. There's somebody outside Helena-West, outside of Phillips County, who I reached out to and said, yeah, I'll help you. And I tried to reach out to the mayor of Clarksdale to see if they had something they could help us with. I don't think that everything should be read to the clerk's office, though. We need this, we need that. I want to see what we can do on our own. And when people see it, everybody in this community got to gripe about their trash. And I want people to see, hey, we can work together. I mean, if you all got some contacts, if you all know some people want to help us, come on. Everything that we do it together. And it's not me, it's you all. The same thing, I was trying, this garbage truck got rid of it because of all of you all and me working together, trying to make sure people understand that the city needs. Because the people who are complaining, it's gonna complain. Mr. Chief of Staff, you can keep moving on with this agenda.
On the truck 106 estimate, the $17,000, what is the pleasure of the city council on that?
That voted to ratify yet?
We table until we've had our budget meeting. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm legitimately asking.
They're on the sidebar, I don't know what it is.
So let's just make sure, the city attorney said he would call for a vote to ratify. And I told you, we,
That was motion second, I heard.
they voted roll on that.
On the big truck road side.
Yes, but $8,900 a month, you ratified it, yes.
Okay.
That's what you just did. You haven't taken a vote on 106 yet.
I think Ms. Miller wants us to table it till we can get a better answer on our finances. So we can do that if it's what you wanna do. So
I mean, not that I want to, but I'm just
just
thinking,
give us some time.
if it's been up there that long, I mean.
No, this one just went last week.
Oh, it just went last.
This is
week.
106. It was in service. Well, when we had the meeting on 25th, both of them were down, and I told you we thought we could fix it for like 2,500. And well, the 2,500 on this one is turning into 17,000. We did get the other one back up. But the one you talking about are down, they've been down since November, December of last year. That's the front end loaders. And one of those, the update on the one, we paid 58,000 on one at the shop that fixed the motor type stuff. It's been driven across Memphis to cylinder shop, and we're third in line to get the cylinder repaired. And the cylinder is the device that pushes the waste back and packs it, and then when you go to landfill, it pushes it out of the truck onto the ground. That cylinder stopped functioning at the same time the other stuff stopped functioning on that truck. So as soon as that's repaired, hopefully by the end of next week, we'll have that truck back. But we paid 58,000 on it, and we paid 40-some thousand on the other one. The other truck, and I try not to call the local vendor's name, but the other truck was repaired. You all approved $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 repair locally. And when it got to Memphis for analysis, and I sent this to you, the work they had some things put in the motor backwards. And so now, I'm not saying that backward work caused all the problem, but now we're having to replace the motor in that truck. And so that's gonna be another 40-some thousand dollars. Did we pay the first $47,000 or so on that truck? Or we just paid the 58,000?
You paid the first 47.
So we paid 58 and 47. Yeah, that's on the two front end loaders. And I know this can get confusing because we got so many trucks and so many of them in need of work. But we spent 58,000 and 47,000 on the two front end loaders. Now those trucks brand new are over 400,000. So that's what we're trying to salvage. But this one, basically what happens when we table it, we're gonna ask you to rent the other one for another month. Cause you're not gonna be till the 28th, right? So we're gonna spend this money one way or the other. It seems like. But I think the motion is to table it until the 28th.
Oh, no. I didn't make a motion. I was just
Oh, well,
I was asking because I wasn't sure. I was
Yeah.
thinking that this was a truck. For whatever reason, I had it in my mind that it's been sitting somewhere.
right. No. Okay. So what's the pleasure of the council on truck 106?
We gotta fix it. If we don't fix it, we'll spend half of what it costs to fix it next month.
Or real fees. Do we have a motion?
Someone,
Mr. Edley moves to pay the. What's the price? $17,000 to
$17,167.51.
Mr. St. Columbus, second the motion, any discussion? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
St. Columbia,
Yeah.
Harris,
Yeah.
Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Retherley.
yes.
If we could go to page 167 of your packet. It's a competitive bidding ordinance waiver for the purchase of radio equipment for $5,787.99.
What number?
So to the, some of those are just the way bidding that we've already paid the bill, the council approved it in previous meetings, and the city attorney. It's got the, most of the ones that you're gonna read are follow-ups to y'all's motion.
$5,787.99. Is that the total for the year?
That's the total for the units that they bought, yes.
What number is this?
Well, the y'all already approved the expenditure, right?
Yes, sir, the bill's been paid, and this is a clearing, act of clearing, because you need a waive bidding since it's over the mayor's spending limit. And so you were putting those together for us.
Yeah, I shouldn't have prepared this. This is supposed to be 7,500. If it's between 2,500, 7,500, 5,000 and 7,500, you don't need. The waiver procurement is over 7,500. The mayor's spending authority is 5,000.
Okay.
So we don't need an ordinance for that one.
Okay,
He said we don't-
on page 160,
No.
Not on that one.
page 169. What's the second line here? If you go to 169, that's one for Jones Hydro Services. Purchasing a new pump on pump number 3, $41,531.35. Have we already done this? Do you know, sir?
I think we have.
They verbally approved it and I'm waiting for the waive bidding just as a formality for auditing. Yes, sir. Be number 3.
Mr. St. Clair moves it.
Suspend rules, place on third and final reading the title only.
Yeah, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Anthony seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. St. Columbia. Yes.
Order number 3, 2024, the ordinance waiving competitive bidding in accordance with Arkansas Code Annotated Section 1458.303, authorizing the mayor to enter the contract for the purchase of repair certain equipment for the city of Helena-West and for other related purposes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Mr. Anthony moves to adopt. Mr. St. Clair seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. St. Columbia. Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly.
Yes.
Ms. Davis. Yes. Ms. Harris.
Yes.
5 yes.
Is there a motion on the emergency clause?
Mr. Anthony moves to adopt. St. Clair seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Harris. Ms.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Mr. Etherly.
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia. Ms. Miller.
Yes.
5 yes.
The next ordinance is on page 171, is regarding Andre Crawford Plumbing. That's $8,200. It's for the repairs of water lines. Is there a motion to suspend the rules, place on third and final reading title only? I believe you all already approved all of these. Is that right, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Evans moved to adopt. Ms. St. Clair seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, you call the roll.
St. Columbia.
Yeah.
Harris.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Etherly.
Yes.
5 yes.
Ordinance number 4, 2024, an ordinance waiving bidding in accordance to Arkansas Code Annotated Section 1458. Bill 3 authorizing the mayor to enter to purchase or repair a certain property for the city of Helena and for other related purposes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Mr. St. Clair moves to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Evans seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Etherly.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
Ms. Davis. Ms.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia.
Ordinance number 5, 2024 involves Sidney Martin Emergency Group. I believe that y'all already approved that one as well.
That's the cascade system they approved last year. The fire department.
They'll be paying with the Act 33.
Yes.
Act 833.
Act 833, excuse me.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules, place on third and final reading the title only? Yes, sir.
Mr. Evans moves to adopt. Mr. St. Thomas, you second? Any discussion? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ordinance number 5/2024, the ordinance waiving compatibility in the Code of Arkansas Code Annotated 1458-303, authorize the mayor to enter for purchase and or repair certain property for the city of Helena-West for other related purposes. There, motion to adopt.
Ms. St. Clair moves to adopt. Mr. Etheridge seconds the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia? Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So,
Ms. Etheridge so moves to adopt. Ms. St. Clair, seconds. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
St. Columbia? Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Eppley?
yes.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, I don't have a note. Did we adopt the emergency clause on number
We did.
4? On ordinance number 4, did we adopt the emergency clause?
Closer.
Is there a motion to adopt the emergency clause on ordinance number 4?
Ms. Etheridge moves out. Mr. St. Clair seconds the motion. Any discussion?
I mean, ordinance number 5.
Number 5, that's the ordinance.
President.
We did number 5. We didn't do number 4.
Number 4, okay.
So it's number 4, ordinance of number 4. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Davis? Yes. Mr. St. Columbia? Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ordinance number 6 involves Quaterborn plumbing, and it's involving the repairs to water lines. It's amount $41,531.35. I believe y'all already approved it. Is there a motion to place the ordinance number 6/2024 on its third and final reading the title only and suspending the rules?
Mr. St. Clair moves to Quaterborn Plumbing. Mr. Etheridge seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. St. Columbia? Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance number 6/2024, ordinance waiving the building in accordance with Arkansas Code annotated section 1458-303, authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract to purchase and repair certain property for the city of Helena-West, Arkansas for other related purposes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Mr. Anthony moves to adopt. Ms. Second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Davis? Ms. St. Columbia? Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
Ms. St. Clemens move to adopt. Mr. Anthony second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Davis?
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia? Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Yes.
Ordinance number 7/2024 is for Eldridge Supply Company.
That's repair the backhoe.
That's the repair of the backhoe. Is there a motion to place? We've already approved that as well.
Mr. St. Clemens moves to adopt. Mr. Anthony second the motion. Any discussion?
Prior to voting, it was to suspend the rules, place on third and final reading the title only is what the motion is. Just want to state that for the record.
Correct. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. St. Columbia? Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ms. Miller? Ms.
Yes.
Davis? 5 yes.
Ordinance number 7/2024, ordinance waiving competitive bidding in the Code of Arkansas Code Annotated section 1458-303, authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract to purchase and or repair certain property for the city of Helena-West for other related purposes. A motion to adopt.
Mr. St. Clemens moves to adopt. Mr. Anthony second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ms. Davis? Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia? Ms. Miller?
Yes.
5 yes.
Is there a motion on the emergency clause?
So moved.
Mr. Anthony
To adopt.
moves to adopt. Mr. St. Clemens second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Eppley?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia? Ms. Harris?
Yes.
5 yes.
Ordinance number 8/2024 is law stop.
Mr. City Attorney, this is exempted under Arkansas law as a used vehicle. Isn't it a used vehicle?
It's usually, this is exempted, it's just, did you all vote to approve it?
I don't know.
Ratify the expenditure. It doesn't have to be considered bid, it's a used vehicle, because it's exempted under Arkansas law.
the fire department truck was wrecked. And they bought a replacement truck from Starks Auto Plaza in Jonesboro.
It's a pickup truck.
The Durango was told out they bought a pickup truck.
Right.
And it looks like they spent $20,000, like, the Act 833.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess we can ask council to ratify that. But bidding is not required.
But if bid is not required, a spending of $5,000 must be approved by the council. It's my understanding from the fire department, it came from Act 833.
Yes, that's what it is.
Mr. Evans moves to approve.
I move to.
Ms. Miller seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. St. Columbia, Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Ethelley,
Yes.
Ms. Davis, Ms. Harris.
Yes.
All right, on page 181. And 82 is one invoice, 83 and 84 is another, and 85 and 86 is another invoice from Qualifon. And this is for repair during and post the crisis that we had earlier this year. Looks like the first one is February 27th through March the 1st, and March 4th through March 8th. The second one is February 13th through the 15th, so not in chronological order. And then the third one is April the 1st through April the 5th. And it looks like he's billing by the hours. My understanding is about $300 per hour. He itemizes his hours on the summary sheet that's on the flip side of each of the invoices.
The second move, we pay these payments to Qualifon Plumbing.
Second.
Mr. Evans seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Ethelley,
Yes.
Ms. Harris.
Yeah.
St. Columbia, Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Fabian.
Page 187 and 188, those have been rejected and will be rebilled. And so there's nothing for the council to do on those. They didn't have adequate information on the invoice. That's Anthony Perry. Page 189 is L&M Municipal Supplies. This is for the water department. It's $6,200. Looks like $25.57. And then, let me make sure this is not a carryover. We got a separate one on the back.
It's a
It looks like it's a carryover.
it's a second, because the invoice number here is 44,796. Invoice here is 44,798.
Okay, two invoices.
One's for 72, one for 62.50.
Right, and these invoices are basically supplies for the water department. If you look on it, for example, you got 6 1x6 brass nipples. Got 3/4 times 3, some part for the water department that's hard to tell from it writing. You got brass couplings. On the flip side, you got 48-inch CL 200 PVC pipe. So that's 40 feet, I guess, of 8-inch pipe. And then we got 6-inch mega lugs and stuff like that. But that's supplies for the water department. And it's probably replenishing what we have on the shelf. So when we have need for them, we can get them. This was ordered by Tyrone by phone. There's no purchase order on it. But they deal with Larry, I think it's Larry Fisher on a pretty regular basis to get a supply for the water department. So because these are over $5,000, we're asking the council to approve them.
Yes, Mr. Evans second motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Ms. Harris. Yes. Ms. Davis. Ms. Ethelley. Ms. St. Columbia.
On page 192 and 191 and 192, there's a Xylem rental expenditure. And it details what we're renting, including the 8-inch pump, 200 gallon, I guess the 200 gallon a minute. And all the hoses and fittings and things we're paying for on this. That's a total of $12,431.69. And at this price, I believe this is the one that is running our sewer pond. I would think that that would be pump station number 6. And that's the one when it doesn't work, it floods the farmer's field. So that's what that's bringing right now.
How many total of these do we still have to be paying for?
I
When I
don't
say
know.
these, just for public clarity, speaking of, when the mayor first came, this man, his goal was to get us off of all the pumps, and we're just seeing how many we left, that we still paying on.
We went down from like 8 to about 2 or 3, and it fluctuates, depending on what's going on in the various sewer stations. But we've had, during the time Ms. Murdoch was here, we bought pumps, we replaced them, put them in, bought the long pipes that go down in. And so it just depends. But we'll get station 6 fixed and station 4 will go out and have the same problem. It's been that kind of journey for us. Because I believe the one on Walnut Street near the North Helena Park, it was functioning fine all the way with Murdoch, but since he's been gone, we've been running a bypass pump on him.
So currently, 3 bypass pumps to see.
At least 3, but I get you a specific number. And I mentioned Mr. Murdoch only as time reference.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was asking for the sake of public discussion.
Yes, sir.
Is there approval for to Xylem for $12,431.69?
So
Mr. Evans moves to pay Xylem $12,431.69. Ms. St. Clair seconds the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Ms. Davis? Yes. Mr. St. Clair? Ms. Miller?
yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Etherly?
Yes.
Page 193, we have invoice from Arkansas Logistics in amount of $3,500 for clearing alleys and rights of way between 4th and 5th North Plaza, 5th and 9th South Plaza, and more work remains to be done in those rights of ways and alleys. Some of these alleys have sewer manholes in them that were covered up with debris and all kinds of stuff. Well, that's what this invoice is for.
The motion to pay Arkansas Logistics $3,500 for 50 alleys right away to 4th and 5th North Plaza, 5th and 9th South of Plaza, more work remains to be done. Ms. Davis moves to pay Arkansas Logistics. There's Mr. Anthony seconds the motion. Any discussion?
Do we not need a little bit more information? This doesn't seem as detailed. I'm quite nervous.
She's asking, can you provide more detail?
The alleys were blocked with various debris, overgrowth, small trees, just all kinds of stuff, weeds, whatever. And so that was cleared out. We've been working on alleys, pretty much the city and various stages, pretty much all over the West Helena area, but in the alleys is where the power lines are, the cable and other stuff. And they're just been ignored over time, and you lost citizens who live next to them to take care of them. And so there's one alley in particular, the one on between 4th and 5th. It has a ditch that needs to be dug. It has water in it, and the people complain about snakes living in it and stuff like that. And so cleaning it out to try to get to address the next problem. That's pretty much it. There may be some pictures, maybe, of some of that stuff that I can, get from them.
There's a motion and a second for Madam Clerk, will call the roll.
Yes.
Ms. Miller? Abstain.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. St. Yes. And 4 yes, 1 abstention.
All right, on pages, with the number, I think it's 194, 95, 96, 97, and 98. 198 has been paid already. And you have on page 199, with particular reference to page 200, the minutes from July the 11th, 2023, where the city contracted with a contractor from Marigold, Mississippi, at $1,750 a week or $125 an hour. And this is your sanitation service. He started with one truck, working a few hours a week. And since then, one of our trucks has quit. That's on the residential side. The handicap truck, as we would call it, a small truck to get into the narrow areas, is totally out of service. And so Mr. Sellers is invoicing, and it came to the person handling the payment of these checks attention that the city attorney said because the amount was over 7,500, the council needed to approve it. And so that's why these are in here.
Correct. Last year you all approved just a static rate for this contract. As it's been presented, the $125 per hour. There was nothing in this year's minutes to approve that, but you had approved the expenditure. And out of abundance of caution, I wanted the council to have it so they can prove it, so we can have it and keep going forward.
So is there a motion to move to pay Mr. Watts for these invoices because he hasn't received but one payment? He's looking to receive a payment. And I asked, the lady that handles it, I wanted to be brought to you also, we can make sure you can pay it, but I want to make sure we got approval. So there a motion to pay these invoices from.
If you notice on page 198, it's no for April the 29th, with no trash picked up due to non-payment. And then April 30th, he didn't pick up trash either. And so this kind of came to a head. He's back to picking up trash because he got that one payment and the promise that it will be presented to the council for payment tonight. And following that, we'll see what happens. If the council pays, continues to pick up, the council approves payment. If it doesn't, then he's gonna stop.
So moved.
Miss Miller was to pay Mr. Phillips his invoices, and Mr. Second the motion, any discussion?
What's the problem with this truck situation?
That's what we're waiting, we just paid, what, Ms. Randall, 47,000 well, a
I
payment.
get them all confused. All of
This
them.
is the,
The front end load was 40 or 50 and then we got the graphic, I mean, move truck and what is,
This is residential waste.
right, this is residential. What's the
Right.
permanent solution to residential?
I think you need 2 trucks. You need a small area truck and you need a rear loader truck.
So I guess what I'm saying, this is not one of the trucks that's being worked on. This is
No,
truck just out of service.
yeah, it's kaput. It's beyond out of service. It's in the junkyard.
So on the 28th, can we have estimates as to what it's gonna cost for?
Yeah, we're gonna have more. We presented estimates. The problem with buying a new truck right now is until your rate study is completed, you don't have money to pay for them. So we robbing Peter to pay Paul. The short. We can, I mean, y'all said buy a new truck, I mean, buy it, we can do that. But that's what the concern has been, you've been waiting on the rate study. An update on the rate study is that, Mr. Dennis Sternberg says he may have a tentative rate by Friday to be discussed and modified, but he's working on it. He requested some more information from our treasurer and he supplied, that to him. And so that's kind of where we are on the rate study. I don't know what it'll look like or what it'll mean. But Friday, we hope we have some information on that. But until you can stop the bleeding in the water department, the sanitation department can't stand on its own.
I think on the clinic as well, I think the city council needs to seriously look at the sanitation rates as well. I don't think they've been increased in quite some time. I think sanitation, the water standards on, the sanitation standards on. Y'all don't have to do anything, but I think y'all need to seriously look at what's the solution. That's what's getting at. What's the solution? Because we need to stop.
I think the council has always said that they want to deal with it all at once, one time. And so we're waiting on the rate study, is my understanding. I don't think there's anybody in the city who doesn't know that our rates need to be moved up. So now I don't know where we are. We did,
Was a response to your question?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where we were. on this.
but we'll bring those proposals, because Mr. Collins has brought some. But we can bring some proposals for a new truck or two new trucks in the residential portion of the sanitation department. Is this Moore's Island?
Y'all had voted on,
So
y'all haven't been a vote on these.
Didn't vote on what?
we have a motion.
They haven't voted on those. They have a motion, a second discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Harris.
Yes.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
This is
Mr.
resolved.
Pardon?
No, it's for.
No, it's sell us, the trash pickup.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, two invoices from Xylem, one for 9,500. That's just one invoice.
I thought you already did sign.
That was a $12,000.
Well, the next time.
What page we on?
205, just the invoice.
So,
Is this the same $12,000 bill that was here, or is this a different pump?
gonna be a different pump. I think, let me go back. It may. That's inside. It should say pumps, plural. But the bill you approved, invoice March 21st. Is for the month of March. And this one they asking to do now is April 23rd. And I may have mentioned this, and I'm hoping we can get beyond this. And it's not the city council, it's us, the administration. You all are getting stuff dropped on your desk, and then sometimes it doesn't get addressed. And that Xylem bill was probably one of those things that was put on your desk and it wasn't addressed, the first one from March. And so that's why we're trying to get it in a package, numbered and sequenced, so you know, everybody knows, everybody got the same thing. So I'm thinking that may have happened. So we need authority to pay as the funds are available, Xylem for this room. And I guess by going down, we have turned one of the pumps back in.
Item 9,000.
That's another sewer pump, right?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Mr. Esther moves to pay item $9,570.85. That second. Ms. St. Clement second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia, Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
On the next page, we got Southern Plumbing, they came in and they plugged our 24-inch sewer main and pumped sludge, debris and wipes and things out of the bottom of the well. It took them 2 days, and they showing 11 hours on one day, 10 hours on another day, 2 trucks. 21 hours, $300 an hour, $6,300 plus tax of $6,961.50. And that's for work at the lift station.
So moved.
Mr. Esther moves to pay Southern Plumbing $6,961.50. That's second. Ms. Davis second the motion in discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Mr. St. Columbia.
Yeah.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
On page 207, there's an invoice from Central Arkansas Contractors. You already approved this and waived competitive bidding in the ordinance early in April. But it's just included, I guess, because it's part of the water company stuff. But you approved this as part of $93,000. This one is already done. So then, I believe this credit application is just FYI on page 208. And so are these emails, explaining, potential run with RDQ and people like that. On page 217, the mayor had posted on his Facebook page asking people for comments on areas to be cleaned, and we can address this at another meeting. So if you start at 217, you got, I think 3 people who responded to the city clerk. 1 by mail and 2 by email. One of those emails was shared, I believe it was shared broadly with the council, but it may not have been. That one on page 219. So hopefully we'll get more information in terms of direction from people, but those are the 3 that responded to the clerk. And the final item in this packet starts at page 223. And because the hour is late, I won't go through it in too much detail, but this is the COPS grant. We were able to salvage our standing with the COPS grant. But we need to repay the COPS grant $37,000 by May the 25th. And then we can draw it down again in the proper fashion. They found that we didn't do something in accord with what the grant required. Now, there's been no drawdown since January the 1st of 2023. So this administration has not received any COPS grant money, but the COPS grant has been preserved. We got over $900,000 remaining out there that we can draw between now and 2026. But we got to follow the grant guidelines. And I believe Mr. Turner and others are working to make sure that we do that. So we may need authority to pay the $37,000. And that $37,000 is listed on page 4 of 8 of the document is on page 226 of the letter addressed to Chief Bell. And we don't have to do that tonight. I believe we can get it to them by the 25th, but we do address it at our next meeting. You think that's all right, Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
I got, before we leave, I got one question and one comment.
Yes, sir.
On sellers, are we paying him from water or are we paying him from general?
To general, we're paying him out of the water department because the water department had the sanitation fees. So he's now turning his bill into the city clerk, and the city clerk will pay him from general fund.
Comment, and this is just This is mainly for our citizens. Since we last met, Mr. Eden had the proposal to use the city park for construction and housing. Thank you all who participated and submitted questions, that I sent to him, and upon receiving the questions, Mr. Eden decided that they would just pull their request. And so they have withdrawn their request to use the, Washington Street Park for the housing. And, so that's just FYI. He sent an email about it if everybody saw it, but FYI for council and citizens. Thank you all for helping to, craft those questions.
Got two graduations.
I'm looking at the engineer's packet and there's another bill in here, but I believe because of your,
High school graduation.
the authority you gave us, it should be fine. Looks like $1,100 bill in here. I didn't really realize that was a part of this.
What they,
I don't think so. I think the dollar approval will do.
They kept 16. Something.
$1,125. It's within the mayor's business authority. It's not in your package because I didn't have it.
okay. And also we have two graduations. Kip is May 16th and Central is May 17th, so if you support our the same comment.